Hi everyone. Today's very important topic is the truth about climate change. So, there are many people, like children, who are being taught in schools that climate change is very real and that we're all basically going to be flooded underwater in 10 years. And this is creating a lot of fear in people, and especially children. So there is much to be dispelled in terms of fear and delusion, and I want to bring in some perspectives that perhaps you hadn't noticed before. Let's start with the beginning. What are they saying about climate change? First it was global warming, and then that wasn't adding up, so they had to change it to climate change. So what do they say is really going on? A bunch of cows are farting massive amounts of gas, and of course the pollution, etc., etc. And because we are so overpopulated, the poles are melting and all the sea levels are rising. The whole thing, it just reeks of a massive lie, and I can point out every little detail of it. First of all, Al Gore said that by the year 2000 we were all going to be underwater. I'm in Miami and we're still at zero sea level. The sea level has not risen, not at all. If the sea level was to rise, all of these banks would not be offering these companies millions of dollars to build residential and office buildings right on the waterline in Miami. And all this construction has been going on for the past 2 years. If the science was real and not cabal driven, basically they would not be building on the Miami coast at all. And it's booming. They are demonizing CO2, which is a necessary gas of life. We breathe out CO2. The trees breathe in CO2. The trees breathe out oxygen. We breathe in oxygen. CO2 is a necessary gas of life, and without it we would all be dead. So then they go back and they talk about the medieval age, the ice age, and all of these ages cannot be proven. The fact is that we really don't know what happened 150 years ago, as Prashant so beautifully says. All of the history has been told by the ones who won it. So now, what are the different layers of what's actually going on? Number one, weather modification using HAARP and the chemtrails. They have been attempting and modifying the weather in several places, creating massive droughts and vice versa. Also, Irma was a genetically modified storm created by HAARP, as many others are. The Paris Climate Agreement, which is a massive drain of taxpayer dollars, projects that are called solar deflection, and it's when they spray massive amounts of aluminum, barium, nano, and other particulates into the sky to create a shield so that the sun is blocked from hitting the earth. The earth is not overpopulated, not at all. In fact, you can fit the entire population comfortably in the state of Texas. Next time you're on an airplane, I want you to look down at all the vast miles and miles of untouched land. And think about that next time you think that we are overpopulated. This is a lie. Another layer of what's going on with the weather is that people's deep emotions and beingness directly affects the weather. I remember when my cousin passed away suddenly in a car accident many years ago, and it was a shock to all of us. He was the beloved golden child of the family. And I'll never in my life forget that night's weather. It was the most intense thunder and lightning storm I had probably ever witnessed in my life. Everyone was overwhelmed with grief. They were all at the house. Everybody was crying and just in complete darkness and disbelief. And it was so perfectly reflected in the dramatic and intense nature of the lightning and the thunder. It was relentless. It was so intense. and other experiences, being in extreme cases of joy and exaltation, and when you're doing the work and the discipline and you are functioning in a fractal way, in coherence, centered, you affect that externally, so you can create rainbows, you can clear the chemtrails, you can create wonderful things, and nature will and does often respond to you when you have been doing the work and your charge is stronger and stronger. We are much more powerful than HAARP, and I can prove it to you in my video titled "We Are More Powerful Than HAARP." When I'm speaking about it, I literally had a massive lightning hit right in the moment. And right now, look, I'm speaking to you and the sun just is blaring out of nowhere. They want to create a global tax on the world, demonizing carbon, lowering your carbon emission, and further allocating the wealth into the 1%. The last layer of what I want to say of what's going on is nature's detox. So what is happening is that this plane is not being used for what it's meant to be used for, and that is evolution, treating the earth well, being kind to it, and evolving yourself so that you can move forward into a higher plane of existence on your journey of evolution. But for a long time now, many beings have been regressing, have been destroying the earth with all this pollution and all of these things. All of that does need to be cleaned up, and we need to treat the earth with the utmost respect always, as it's our mother, and she gives us everything while we're here. Mother Earth is washing away those people that have just been taking advantage of the opportunity they've been given. And it is a detox. Those that no longer are capable of holding the vibration to earth will be removed from the earth. And we have seen that in the deaths that have been going on and in many natural disasters. I remember seeing this video that PT posted where a man was in his hoodie and he was walking all arrogantly down the street, and out of nowhere this huge wind came and a piece of concrete lifted off the ground, hit the man. The man goes flying into a car. I mean, if that isn't nature at its finest, showing you that nature's the one really calling the shots here, I don't know what is. Number 3, the solution. The solution, as inside, so outside. The more you work on yourself, the more you center, the more you clean up all of those thoughts that are out of alignment and that are not pure, the more you will be able to resonate at a higher frequency, thus impacting your surroundings. So really, if we want to see a change in the world, it all starts within. It's very true. And also, you will have an ability to impact weather around you in positive ways, and that will help all of those around you. Definitely using less plastic, using no chemicals, keep it all natural, keep it all with the earth, all conscious and aware of what you're putting your money into. All of these little things do make a big change. I hope you have been able to understand the deeper layers of what's actually going on, so that you don't fall into these carbon tax trap holes, and so that you make the proper decisions for how you live your life. And when you respect nature, you will see a much better earth created. Sending you all lots of love, light, and sunshine. Until the next one.